We have a jam-packed show this week, from controversial calls to the MVP debate. We even go over fantasy playoffs and best practices there. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the JSD Fantasy Football Podcast with your boy, Scott Papa Fox Jackson, my guy, Mr. Prestige John Evans, and the one and only bearded warrior, Big Dale Gibson. And we are JSD. Welcome to the pod, y'all.
I'm John.
I'm Scott.
I'm Dale.
And we are JSD Fantasy. Welcome to the show. How you boys doing?
Getting there, man. Getting close to the end of the season.
Yep, right there at the end. One game of the regular season left and then playoffs start. So really it comes down to this last game for a lot of people, me included.
Dale looks like he's already at the end of the season.
Well, to be fair to all the listeners, I watch at any football at all this weekend. I was with the family down in Disneyland on vacation. So I got quick recaps here and there and watched the tail end of tonight's game. So it's really going to be mostly the John and Scott show, and I'll chime in here and there, but still had to jump on the podcast. Definitely tired, but had to be here.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yep. Sounds like the people are in for a treat then. Just kidding. All right. So we've got week 13. No. Sorry. Yeah, wait.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes, we are tired. We are working peoples and we are tired. So yeah, week 13 in the books. So first off, let's start off with that game tonight. All right, we're recording Monday night. Oh my God, the Browns at the Broncos just finished. Broncos pulled it out. Jameis Winston threw a couple of pick sixes, but they had a monster game. He was over 50 points himself, along with Jerry Jeudy. Bo Nix, I'm not even sure what he was at. Have you guys looked him up?
23.
23? All right.
Yeah, it wasn't too hot, but a little bit under projections. It was serviceable, but nowhere near what Jameis and everybody else is pulling in.
Yeah. So that was pretty. That game caused some upsets in fantasy for sure. I feel bad for my father-in-law because yeah, he had a 60-point lead after Josh Allen last night, and with his opponent had Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. All right, well, I mean, I'd like more of a lead, but it should be fine. No, sorry, Bob. That was tough. But yeah, so it's a couple of monster put ups there. Yeah, Nick Chubb finally got the ball. I saw, my Georgia guy. So
Yeah, that game was not expected to be a thriller like it was, right?
yeah,
So definitely for anybody that watched the game was in for a treat with that one.
yeah, it's not often these days you get a good Monday night football game. Well, no, you know what? The Monday nights haven't been too bad. Now the Thursdays, those are the rough ones. You know, aside from Thanksgiving, multiple games. Even if those were lackluster, they were still entertaining enough, at least, you know, to have on in the background. But after that one, let's see, we had a coach fired after Thanksgiving. Yeah, so the Bears let go Matt Eberflus. I think he was saving the timeout to throw then before they him. So, well, that sucks. But I mean, honestly, like, why didn't you just call the timeout, man? Give your team a chance to win.
They said, hit the road, Jack. I mean, keep it real. It was going to happen. That was just kind of like the final straw that broke the back.
Yeah, for sure. They were just, yeah. I mean, that was the last camel that broke, or the last straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. So,
And honestly, we gotta say though, gotta put some of the blame on Caleb Williams. Obviously, you're the coach. You should have called the timeout. But what the hell was Caleb doing? Like, he was being hella lackadaisical after that sack. Kind of went back to the line like, okay, let's call the audible. Oh no, it's not like the game's ending. Game's on the line or anything.
yeah, Caleb doesn't look anything near his college form. He needs to take charge, be the leader, and maybe he can with this new head coach leadership there. And yeah, so that should provide hopefully some kind of direction and maybe just give him some confidence to make the call on certain things. So we'll see. It could be, it can go either way at this point. But
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dale.
No, you're good. I was just going to say Caleb Williams has just not looked good this season. I mean, he's had his, few high points through the season where he's had, really good performances, but for the most part, it's been very below average. Definitely not what we were expecting out of the number one pick. He really hasn't looked like his Heisman form since the year he won the Heisman is his junior year. His last year in USC didn't really look that good. Still ended up the number one pick. Coming into this year, a lot of hype, and just really hasn't lived up to it. So hopefully with a coaching change, that'll turn around.
Well, time will tell. It always
Sam
does.
Darnold can do it. Anybody can.
Hey, you got that right. Oh boy, Sammy should have played you this week. Damn.
Sammy D.
So, all right. Well, only one firing, but many, many more injuries. So, Trevor Lawrence got knocked the fuck out. So
that was fucked up.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
So he is. I always screw his name up. Aziz
Al-Shire.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you for being here. Has since apologized to Trevor Lawrence about the hit. He says that he was committed to the play, and it was too late by the time he, saw he was giving himself up. Blah 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 blah.
Cap.
But so
I watched that replay. Trevor was already sliding. Yeah. He was crouched and ready to spring, but bro, when he launched, Trevor was already sliding. He had literally started his slide, bro.
Yeah,
like he could have held up.
Yeah, I watched it at least a half a dozen times myself. So it seemed dirty, and still so. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off, fellas. CMC out for the rest of the season. Sprained his PCL. And then Jordan Mason, high ankle sprain, also IR. So.
Oh, did anybody see his ankle get sprained though?
Oh, I didn't.
That's my question, because from what I've been seeing, he looked fine when he left the game. So there's a little theory going around that Shanahan has something against Mason and that he wants to see Garindo, and that's why they put him on IR. Kind of like the Kendrick Miller and I forget the Saints coach that started off the season, but he just had a problem with Kendrick Miller. So people thinking that it's kind of like a little conspiracy thing going on.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see, but
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He's done it before with Ayuk, put him in the doghouse. So could be something there too with Mason. I mean, we won't know, until something maybe eventually comes out, but we can speculate. We've seen that happen with him and Ayuk in the past. So that's a possibility. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I could see where maybe that's also the front. So okay, Isaac Garindo gets the snaps in a lost season. I mean, do you want to hurt your next man up? Who knows? But it's just weird because Mason, not the one to be able to keep a secret. Remember week 1?
That was crazy.
Yeah, I was told to practice because I'm starting. I mean, like I'm starting. Yeah. No.
But honestly, do we trust anybody in this Niners offense, man? The way shit's been going.
No. And I say that with my guy Kittle, but even he was confused as to why nothing was going his way. He wasn't getting looked at. He seemed genuinely confused in his presser. He's like, I was open. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know what's going on. So whatever's going on with Brock, he needs to fix it. And and now we've got like we just keep like losing players. I mean, our season's over as Niners fans. Like, and that's it is what it is. So the main thing is get right for next year. Unfortunately, there are a lot of free agents coming up, and we got to figure out ways to keep people paid, keep people on the team, acquire new talent, blah 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 blah. You know, so we'll see. I'm just, I'm yeah, I'm over it.
So at least for me, I still trust Kittle. He's about the only reliable offensive weapon really that we've had all year, and I can't really turn my back on him now.
Oh, I'll never turn my back on Kittle. Don't you dare even suggest it. That is my brother right there. So, I will go to the depths of hell for that man. No.
So anyway, Kittle's great. Yeah, just as you know, the only reliable player, I can't turn my back on him. What he's done this season, you know, he does what George Kittle does, and you know he's really the only reliable player on that team. Debo has not lived up to the offseason hype. Obviously, no CMC, now no Jordan Mason, no Ayuk. Juwan Jennings has kind of been a non-factor the last few games. Brock Purdy, same thing, really a non-factor. You know, this last game, it was going to be tough because you're playing in those harsh conditions that, you know, we're just not used to out here in California. So, you know, blaming the weather is one thing, you know, but you got to go out there and you got to do your job. But they also only schemed up 18 passes for Purdy. You know, like I said, I get the weather. I understand play calling is going to be different, but obviously they were not looking to pass the ball as much as they were to run. So maybe that's why Kittle wasn't as involved, you know, whether he was open on plays or not. You know how they do their game scripts. You know, Shanahan has a list of plays that he's going to call regardless. And maybe Kittle just wasn't the one that they wanted involved for one reason or another. I don't know. But like you said, season's over for us. Just got to get our players healthy and try and do something next year because it's over.
But the thing is, I mean, going into that game, obviously, yeah, running in the snow is different, and they know how to do it there because they live in it. Why wouldn't you scheme up different packages to put Debo in the backfield, to put Kittle in the backfield, to give some kind of chance to throw them off? I mean, it's not every day the Niners play in a snow game. So why don't you just change the game script for that game? I don't trust in Shanahan's process anymore. He's not coaching like he used to. You can't trust what he's doing. And I think that needs to change, or a coaching change needs to happen. And that's just, I mean, a lot of these calls, even at the Super Bowl last year in overtime, come on, man, it's your job to know this stuff. Like, do something with it. It's like, you know, the little thing with the stick, like poking at it. Like, come on, do something. Do something. Let's go.
I think that's been the thing for a lot of Niner fans. That's why everybody's starting to call for Shanahan's head or Shanahan's job. The late game antics, like the late game calls, just kind of like what's going on, man. He used to be like the genius in the league, and now it seems like he's on the other side of it. He thinks he's too smart for his own good. Let's say that. Right?
Yeah, but his gray hair is showing, man. Like,
Boy.
and I'm not taking shots. I've got gray in my beard, and it's starting to spike up here every once in a while. But I mean, come on, like,
Years.
yeah, but he doesn't have to stress himself to age like that. I'm just saying. Anyway, we should probably get off the Niners unless Dale has something.
Damn. There goes Dale. Hey, there we go.
Anything to add to that?
Yep.
Yeah, you're here.
Yo, got me?
So basically, you can start Kittle. Nobody else on the Niners should be even looked at. Just if you got Kittle, start him. If you don't, look other places because Niners are not it. This is not the season. We playing for a draft pick.
All right. Well, moving away from the 49ers, we'll go on to the other injuries. Love you, Kittle. Anyway, Lad McConkey, knee. Bucky Irving, knee. Mayfield thought that he might have popped his Achilles and only missed one play because of it. But he didn't know, and he wasn't sure, which is understandable if you've never had it happen. But I thought that was funny that he's like, yeah, I didn't know. I thought the season was over. But I was fine, and he missed one play.
Right.
So Baker Mayfield's a riot. I like this Baker Mayfield. He's fun.
Yeah, he is.
His days of being a little all about some. We lost Dale.
There we go.
Maybe he's gonna reconnect. So,
Right.
But he used to be. Do we have him back? Can you hear us?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
So
yeah, you guys were froze on my end. Like I could hear you talking, but your picture was frozen. So I just reset it real quick.
Okay,
good call.
cool.
Look at us. We're video pros.
Hey, we gotta talk about the Eagles bullying the hell out of the Ravens.
We are. Let me finish injuries real quick. Okay. The other thing is Josh Jacobs is dealing with the lingering calf injury, but he's been playing through it. Romeo Dobbs, he's trending towards playing Thursday night, which is, that's yeah. Because because he just was concussed this past week. Is that me echoing? No. Okay. So anyway, he's trending coming back, and Taysom Hill out for the rest of the season towards ACL. So, but all right. I don't think I missed anyone. If I did, that's my bad. But yeah, so those are the injuries. Scotty, did you want to jump back over to talk about that Eagles Ravens game?
Yes. So Eagles versus the Ravens. Started off actually looking like the Ravens were about to get the better of the Eagles, and then them boys just brought it back. Eagles defense is nice, dude. Their team actually is pretty damn solid all around. Defense is hitting all strides. The offense, it actually is kind of crazy because Devonta Smith wasn't even playing, right?
No.
AJ Brown, Saquon, and Jalen Hurts. Seems like that's all they need to keep them going. And
Goddard.
Goddard actually has been a big piece. But who's going to stop Saquon, man? He is looking like a legitimate MVP candidate. I think if he hits 2,000 yards in 17 games, you have to seriously consider him for MVP.
No, I'm sorry, but if CMC didn't win it last year, and being non-biased, I know I'm a Niners fan, but being a non-biased football fan, if he didn't win it last year over Lamar, Saquon's not going to win it this year. If a running back was going to win it, it was going to be last year. It's not going to be Saquon. It's not going to happen. He can hit 2,000 yards. Derrick Henry hit 2,000 yards, didn't win MVP. Chris Johnson hit 2,000 yards, didn't win MVP. So what's the difference here? The narrative and what his career trajectory turned around and is going in the positive direction.
Yep. No,
that should.
but seriously, that's all
The
it takes
same
is the
thing.
narrative.
The same thing happened with CMC. He was with the Panthers. We brought him on board, and he killed it.
Well, I mean, even when CMC had his 1,000 yard season with the Panthers, and broke all kinds of records that season, no MVP consideration really.
Trash. Yeah, I think
I don't care how trash the Carolina Panthers were. I mean,
that's how it goes, man. It's the narrative. I'm not saying that it's right, but the way that everybody's pushing it, they're talking about Saquon over MVP, over Lamar, over Josh Allen, over Mahomes, even though Mahomes doesn't deserve it, right? But they're pushing it. So I'm just saying, if he breaks 2,000 yards in 17 games, I think that they're going to push for him to actually be a legitimate MVP candidate.
So if I were to push the fact that lamb is better than pork, and I just keep pushing that and pushing that and pushing that.
Hey, if you got a national platform,
just because I keep
you got
pushing.
a national platform, you can convince everybody it is.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
have you
like
ever
I said, I'm not saying
people
it's
that
right.
know the game and know how to call it get the no. I'm with Dale. Preach it, Dale, about CMC. If anyone was going to get it, it would have been him last year. But this thing's going to it's going to be between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Period.
Yes.
It's Allen.
Yeah. Right now it is. It's straight up Allen. Like,
I feel like if Lamar, if they didn't go on this losing streak, I feel like Lamar would still be like in the front running. The way Josh Allen's been playing, especially after that last game, plus the winning streak, the record, the vibes, everything, it's gonna be Allen, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and we just got our asses handed to us by Josh Allen, but the dude was on fire.
Killing it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to throw this touchdown pass. No, give it back to me. All right, I'm gonna run in. That was crazy.
You know, he got credited for both.
Yes, absolutely, and he should, because he threw the pass that got passed back to him, and he ran it in.
But what's so crazy is Amari Cooper didn't get any credit for that. They don't give you credit for the lateral passes.
That's fine.
That's crazy.
Forget that guy. Like, he hasn't been doing shit. Why does he get points now?
Okay, so Allen and Lamar, right? Those are the two front runners we assume right now. Okay, let me give you stats real quick. So you both think it's Allen, right?
Gotta be Allen.
Gotta be Allen. Okay, cool. 3,290 yards, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 125 QBR.
That's Lamar.
Yep. Okay. And you add 678 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lamar. We go to Josh Allen. 2,691 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 107 QBR. Rushing, 334 and 6. MVP goes off of mostly stats and
it's gonna be Allen
and popularity.
Well, that's nice. Lamar's had one extra game.
You're still not going to catch up to his yards, his touchdown to interception ratio.
He's doing all the things.
That's what I'm telling you. It's going to be Allen because the team's doing better technically, right? It's the same thing. It's the narrative. It's the vibes. Everybody's loving Josh Allen all of a sudden. The way he's playing, right? Lamar is being, I'm like this. He's playing better. Daniel say Lamar is better, right? But he's doing the same Lamar things. People are over it. The narrative is, well, he can't do it in the playoffs. Josh Allen, the narrative is, oh, everybody thought they were going to do bad. Oh, the Bills are supposed to suck this year. He's carrying the team. People are discrediting Lamar because he has Derrick Henry now. You feel me?
That's true. That is true.
Even though Lamar is elevating his game, he has the passing, he has the rushing. He's, like you said, he essentially has 31 total touchdowns, was it? Or 32 total touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Lamar is killing it, but it's that narrative, man. Like, it's going to be Allen.
Yeah, and I'm not like talking down on anything Lamar's doing. Like, they've been playing fantastic ball, both of them. But yeah, stat wise, purely quarterback, it's Lamar. stat wise, record wise, and the things that are being done by Josh Allen is he's taking the lead. So
he's viewed as he's viewed as the MVP because it's essentially everybody feels like Josh Allen is literally carrying the team because he has no true number one receiver. He's the guy that's the engine on the team. People are acting like Lamar Jackson essentially has a stacked ass team, and Derrick Henry is the one pushing it. Narrative.
I don't disagree. I do feel Allen is above Lamar. I do. Just based off of just stats alone, I'm afraid that they're going to go Lamar again. Not that he's not deserving. He is. He's playing fantastic football. He's playing better than he did last year.
I feel like it should be Lamar, but it's going to be Allen.
I think if the Bills continue in this trajectory and Allen continues to play at the level he is, then it will hopefully end up being Allen. He is deserving of finally getting that MVP, getting over that hump, getting over the Lamars and the Patrick Mahomes, who shouldn't even be in the goddamn MVP conversation like at all. If you're going to have anybody, it's going to be Allen. It's going to be, Lamar. It's going to be Saquon, Henry, Jamar Chase. I mean, you can put Jamar Chase in there. I don't care. Just don't put Mahomes in the MVP conversation. And also, that is not because I'm a Niners fan and I'm biased and I hate the Chiefs. He just sucks this year. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I can second that Pat Mahomes sucks. So, Josh Allen, his remaining games, which should show off his talents plenty, at Los Angeles Rams, at the Lions, at home against the Patriots, and at home against the Jets. Tell me that doesn't scream Josh Allen all over. Okay, so he may have some challenges throwing the ball against Detroit. The Rams secondary isn't really threatening, but he'll still make his plays. But what he doesn't get in the throwing game, he's going to get in the running game. Anything that James Cook doesn't handle, it's going to be Josh Allen. You saw how many touchdowns he got. He ran in himself last night. And then against the Chiefs, he ran in the game winner to just seal the deal himself. He's not afraid to run the ball. The dude is huge. He can do it. Like, there's a lot of narrative there. And you have the Ravens that are going to be on bye this week. And that's gonna be one last week of talking about Lamar Jackson and what he did this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Bills just had that last week in week 12, right? So, but people are talking about what he did to us. So, I mean, Josh Allen's doing it, and Lamar is too, but Josh Allen's doing it to a level where people are really talking about it, and I think he'll take it. But setting any kind of setbacks or whatever, if it was decided today, I think it would lean in his favor. But, yeah, that's my
narrative over stats.
Yeah, but I mean, stats are included too. But
no, stats are included, but
it's a combination of everything. It has to be. If they're not going to do that, then they're not doing it right. So
it's a feel-good story for Josh Allen to finally perform this way and get his first MVP.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, so yeah, a couple of really, really good games, and I needed Saquon to just kind of like rest and be quiet that game because Lonzo had him in our family league, and that basically punched my clock. I don't think I have a shot at it anymore, so I bid you all adieu. Good luck on your quest.
Yeah, Saquon kept me in it, man.
Good luck beating my wife.
I just did.
I mean, when it counts and matters.
Hey, a win's a win. There was no buys this week.
It's fine.
A dub is a dub is a dub.
Hey, I'm just trying to live through her because she did it right, and I suck. Welcome to the pod. All right, fellas, waivers. So it's still kind of slim pickings, but I took a glance at our big money league, and like I saw a couple available. Jameis Winston's on there. So is Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
Uh,
So no, I was just gonna say Jameis is only 16% rostered, so should be available in most leagues.
yeah. Do we trust to pick up Jameis at this point?
I
For
mean, at
empty
this,
stats. Yeah.
like for fantasy, yeah. At this point, I mean, he's been averaging like 27 points a game, like on the low end. On the high end, he's in the mid-30s, and he's had a couple 40-point plus games at this point. So gotta trust it, man. At least for fantasy, he
Yeah,
won't win you any actual games, but fantasy, he could be the needle mover.
I
right.
mean, for 497 and 4 tonight. Plus, his typical Jameis Winston 3 picks, 2 pick sixes, but you still get 497 and 4. So,
Exactly.
you get that upside for fantasy, not good for, real life football, but for your fantasy team, yeah, why not?
Yep. See, we got him. I mentioned Elijah Moore. If he's available, might as well pair him up. Isaac Garindo, since he is the remaining running back for the Niners. I think that's a good pickup. I know this season's over for us, for the Niners, but you've got a kid that wants a starting job. So he's going to fight for it when he gets the ball. He's fast enough. He can break tackles. If you're in dire need of a running back, I know a couple of leagues in sleeper that I'm gonna be targeting him. So, there's a guy that's hungry and he's got an open door to run through. He just needs to do it. So,
Yeah, I like the Garindo pick. It's hard to trust anybody on that team, obviously. But, if you're in desperate need of a running back, you got, a lot of players on bye this week, whatever it is. Yeah, I would pick him up. I don't know how well he's going to do. I mean, they're going against the Bears defense, and we'll see if Trent Williams plays or not.
That's
So,
yeah,
so
prayers out to Trent Williams' family and their loss.
yeah.
That's tough, and I wouldn't expect him to play. So, yeah.
No, I wouldn't either. That's why I put that caveat out there. So I don't think he's going to play. So that's obviously going to hinder your performance not having one of the best, left tackles in the game out there for you. So,
That's
but go ahead, Scotty.
I was gonna say that's been my question, right? Like with the state of the team, he may be a good pickup. Is it worth even starting?
If
And
you're
that's
super desperate and you
if
need a
you
running
need
back,
if you
then
need
yes.
somebody to start, yeah.
Yeah, which I am in the leagues that I was mentioning in sleeper. I've got like 2 leagues where I'm just decimated at running back, and yeah. So then now that CMC is out, I'm just going to slide him on in if I can pick him up. But
So I've got 2 leagues where I had CMC and Mason. I had the starter and the handcuff, and now I have neither. So in my case, yeah, if I didn't have somebody to back them up, which I'm fine in both those leagues, I think, if I remember off the top of my head, then yeah, I'm good. But if I don't have anybody, then you got to go get him.
yep. I think so. Other than that, if Cedric Tillman isn't on your roster or it has not been picked up, I know he was out this past week. He had not passed concussion protocol. You may want to pick him up. Calvin Austin, since we're looking at that area of the country, he's still not rostered a lot anywhere. He's becoming more than just a special teamser. So
I would like to shout out that I mentioned his name a few weeks back.
You sure did. You sure did, sir.
Juanito said, "I don't want a piece of that."
Yeah, what happened, Juanito? Could have had the better end of that deal, but hey, it's all good, buddy.
Yep. That's how it goes.
I would say if you are in need for quarterback, Bryce Young is actually a streamable option these days.
Yes.
Since the bye week, he had in full PPR, he scored 27, and I want to say his last game was in the 30s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he had a good week.
Bryce Young is an option. Jaleel McLaughlin. McLaughlin.
McLaughlin. Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, and it happened to me.
It's McLaughlin.
He is a good option.
Is that the same last? Sorry, Scott. Is that the same last name as Aunt Becky from Full House?
Might as well be, right?
No, isn't that the actress's name something McLaughlin or something like that?
I don't know if that's her last name.
Well, that or I'm just pulling this out of my ass. And all right, back to football. My bad.
Jaleel's a good option. Amir Abdullah, depending if Zamir White and Alexander Madison are still hurt, right? May want to take a stab at that. I don't know, still the Raiders, so we'll see. Zach Charbonnet is actually still available in a good amount of leagues, and he has been getting some run. I know he's
been getting some catches. So he is the pass catching back in that offense. So
which is weird because Ken Walker was starting to become the pass down back as well, right?
He had his fair share, but for some reason it was Kenneth Walker light this week.
Yeah, it was weird. So if you're at desperate need, Zach Charbonnet seems to be another good option right there.
John, that would be Lori Loughlin.
Yeah.
See, told you.
Close enough.
Right.
It's the back half of the name. All right. Thanks for looking that up, Dale.
No, you're welcome.
Speaking of, I'm going to go with the same mindset with Amir Abdullah as Isaac Garindo. You got a team that's not in it anymore, obviously. So even if Madison and White come back healthy, why play your starters that hard? So I think he can see a lot of touches and try to earn some rapport with insert remaining QB here. I mean, Aiden O'Connell he's still doing things.
He was decent.
Yeah, but it's too hit or miss. So hand the ball off and we're all good. So Amir Abdullah, I like that pickup if he's still available for anybody. Anybody else?
That's pretty much it, man. Tight ends with Taysom Hill out, maybe Juwan Johnson could be an option.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that a lot because you have MVS, Olave's still out and won't be back, I don't think. I don't think so, man. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Hold on to it if you want. But I think Juwan Johnson, that's good. How did Noah Gray do this week? Did he still get some?
He was decent. He got some play. I think he had 5 catches for 50 yards, if I'm not mistaken. He was decent. No touchdowns, but he's starting to become a part of that offense, though. Definitely.
Yeah. So if you're really in need, you maybe take a flyer on him.
Yeah.
If anything, hold onto him to the end of the playoffs, just in case something happens to Kelsey. They'll utilize that.
He was 4 for 58. Kelsey was 7 for 68.
Yeah, they've been running a lot of two tight end sets from what I've seen.
Well, and they also had Pacheco come back this week. So, thank God I remember to mention him because we would have never heard the end of it from Ruben. He would have been like, "Hey, you guys didn't mention this with Pacheco coming back."
Pacheco looked decent. Hunt is definitely. They said it was going to be situational. Hunt's not going to be a part of that backfield, really.
No, I called that about 3 weeks ago that Hunt's on his way out. Once Pacheco's back, he's gone. And that's if he waited until then. So, which we started to see a decline in his gameplay not this past week that happened, but the one before. So,
I'd like to congratulate the Raiders in that game. Mostly the Raiders fans. You guys beat the Chiefs. You got fucked by the refs. So good for you guys.
Yeah. It's crazy how a play can be called dead, but then let's reverse the call or change the call to illegal shift, so it is a penalty that can be declined because the Chiefs recovered the fumble, which was a dead ball. So explain that.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. So
Vegas calls.
hopefully we there's got to be some like reform with the way games are officiated, and we gotta. Yeah, I think sportsbook is a little in the pockets of the
Too much money on the line.
So yeah.
So
money.
Are the Chiefs the worst 11-1 or
Yes.
12-1?
11-1. No.
11-1. Are they the worst? 11 or 12?
Wasn't there a Steelers team?
It's 11-1.
Was. That's what I was going to say. So are the Chiefs the worst 11-1 team, or would it be the Steelers from Roethlisberger's last year, second to last year? I can't remember the year.
I don't think they're that bad yet.
That's tough.
They're one of the worst, but they're not the worst yet.
Yeah.
All of their games have been decided by what, one possession? All but one game, maybe?
All but one game. Yeah.
All but one game. And they keep I know it's beating a dead horse, but they keep getting saved. Game in and game out. This call, this flag, that I don't want to hear it, but after this Raiders game, if you can't see something is happening, you're naive, you're blind, you don't want to see it. I mean, they're a terrible football team, and they're not playing like an 11-1 team. They're just not.
A little money.
Totally agree. And I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, they are the worst 11-1 team for that reason, because otherwise they wouldn't be 11-1. Okay. The Steelers, they lost their games. The Chiefs, or that they got that record, but they weren't the greatest. The Chiefs these should be games that were lost, but they're not. They're counting as wins because of a call or because of another call. And no. So yeah, they are the worst 11-1 team, hands down. Because they shouldn't be 11-1. At least the Steelers pulled the win out each time to be 11-1. The Chiefs aren't. They're literally relying on a yellow flag. So
a little money.
Yep. It's got to stop being a business. It could be a business, but let it be a sport and not entertainment.
Sport aren't they classified as entertainment now instead of sports?
Yep, it's not listed as sports. It's the only sport that's listed as entertainment when it comes to like the big sports. So, but yeah, if you let sports happen, it will be entertaining. But yeah, it's just there's too much to it.
So we need that bottom line.
I think we would enjoy fantasy a lot more if that was the case too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they could at least be a little less blatantly obvious with it. Like, as soon as you have the side judge throw a flag immediately and then signal for a false start, and then they huddle together and say, "Oh no, it was, a different call, and it's reversed, and Chiefs keep the ball." Like, how do you reverse that? How does New York not get involved and say, no, you got it right the first time? It's just, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to watch.
I got a question. Since when can coaches change their mind when they accept or deny a penalty? Because I've noticed that happening in the last couple of weeks. I've never seen that before. Where
they shouldn't be able to.
Which game is that? Because I didn't catch that one.
It's been a couple games. I forget which one. It happened in a couple instances. I'll write it down next time. But this happened at least twice in the last 2 weeks, where a coach will accept the penalty or deny the penalty and then reverse the call. I know it happened. Definitely happened in the Raiders-Chiefs game. if I'm not mistaken. It happened last week. I want to say it was the Ravens Chargers game, but I've never seen that before. And even the broadcasters were saying you're not supposed to be able to do that. And then it happened the next week again, and I'm like, is this gonna be a thing?
Yeah, see,
Like,
that's weird because I remember specifically, I'm talking back in like 2015, 2016. It was a New York Jets and New England Patriots game where it went into overtime and they flipped the coin and I think it was it the Patriots that they won the toss and they said we'll kick the ball. And then they're like, wait, hold on. No, we want the ball. And no, you said kick the ball. Like, and it's like, what? So they didn't get to reverse it then.
see,
They shouldn't get to reverse it. You are going to make a call on the fly, take a second before words come out of your mouth, figure it out, and then go. But
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
if that's the case, yeah, that gets dangerous because then when does it stop? As they're making the play to score, like, oh wait, no, wait. We wanted to accept the penalty.
So that's exactly what happened. Let me see.
It's just a dangerous. You start pushing a line back, and then you also start rubbing away the line, so it's not as clear anymore, and then it starts getting really weird, and all of a sudden, it's just it's it's making it up as you go along, and that's not fun. So
Yep, boom. 2024 NFL season, there have been multiple instances of coaches changing their minds on whether to accept or deny a penalty. It was Nick Sirianni during the Rams game. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni initially declined a holding penalty, but changed his mind and accepted it after seeing the Rams lineup. Like he literally waited till they lined up and then said, nah. And then
that's crazy.
yeah, and they changed it. They let him do it. And I know the broadcaster was like, what the hell? And then Mike Tomlin, when they played the Browns, initially denied illegal touching penalty, but changed his mind and accepted it. The Steelers' decision to accept the penalty gave the Browns a third down, which they converted to a touchdown. So that one hurt him, right? So with the Eagles, it helped. With the Steelers, it hurt him. But the fact that they were able to change their mind,
it still shouldn't be a thing. That's not fair.
mm-hmm, exactly.
Okay.
So I'm like, is this starting to be a new thing? Like,
Yeah, no, I don't like that at all. You're gonna start getting a lot of weird shit happening, and we don't want that in football.
you
They
know,
got to figure this shit out. This is nuts.
that's
We
so.
don't want a lot in football, but that's not what people with money care about.
Yeah. Well,
You know, so be on the lookout for that new little trend of coaches changing their mind on penalties.
there's got to be some kind of like parlay for that now.
Hey, prop bet.
Yeah. All right. Well, fellas. This week, where did the bad fantasy football hurt you?
Right in my PCL.
Oh God.
I thought you were going to be dirty for a second. Like, not safe for work. Yeah.
My PCL.
I understand that.
I lost my matchup by 11 points after CMC was fucking killing it. And it was coming down to basically CMC versus Amari Cooper. Who's going to score more? And 11 points to go. CMC just kind of dropped down on me, man.
Yep.
PCL.
Well,
That's where.
Dale, do you even know? Because I know you were away with the family.
Man.
Yeah, I was away. As I said earlier, I was away on vacation in Disneyland this last weekend, so I just got back home today. I did not check my fantasy football not once while I was on vacation, which was both really hard to do, but also nice to just,
Man.
stay away and, get that quality family. But when I did finally check it, Cooper Cup and Kyle Pitts kissed my ass.
Tried to tell you guys, Pitts was done.
Pitts, yeah. It's obvious Puka is the favorite in that offense. Cup is still really good, but he's not getting the looks Puka is. Maybe 4 points. I needed a lot more. John, you got me this week in that league. So hats off to you. Doesn't help that Pitts gave me a fucking donut again. So
I like
I was hoping he was gonna ride that upward trajectory. A good stretch of it was 3-4 games maybe. Ever since then he's been pretty much non-existent. And there's really not much on the tight end market in that league, so I've had to stick with Pitts.
Which I will say, though, Atlanta has just been struggling. Outside of Bijan, Atlanta has not been good. I think they've lost like 4 or 5 straight now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the record is. Drake London's been holding his own when he's been healthy.
Drake London has been decent.
Yeah,
outside of him and Bijan.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Mooney's been kind of up and down lately as well. He's also been dealing with injury, with hamstrings and whatnot. Yeah. So, I hear Noah Gray's available, Dale, for tight end.
3-game losing streak.
Yeah, might take a look at that. I mean, I think you beating me this week, I think that pretty much pushed me out of the playoff contention. I mean, I think we're both out of it, but I was right there in 7th, and I needed a win this week, but I think with me losing, it's really down to this next week, and I'm pretty much sure I'm out of it. So at this point, maybe just take a flyer on Gray. At least he's getting points.
That or maybe Isaiah Likely. I'm not sure what he's getting, but he's getting more than Pitts. Probably the same usage.
So, Dale, you still have a sliver of a chance. Technically.
So you're saying I have a chance?
Absolutely. Yeah. So technically, Jason lost this week as well. So if he were to lose next week and you were to win and Lamb Goat was to lose, then you get the 6th spot.
I need the fantasy gods to have everything fall into place for me.
You need a dub, and Jason and the other John both need to get an L.
All right, what about me?
Who plays Jason and the other John?
What about me? What do I got to get?
Johnny, I think you should just wait for next year.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying, though, because if you had just gotten out 1 or 2 more wins during early in the season, your team is in the spot to get it done.
Yeah, I know.
So
too little, too late. That's what happens.
Hey, I should have done that 3 for 1 you offered me.
Hey, hindsight.
Hindsight is 20/20. But yeah, Dale. So you still technically have a chance.
All right. Well,
I will take it as long as I have a chance. I will take it.
Well, I wish you both the best of luck in all of your leagues, except for the family league.
Oh, that one. I can have that one.
I think. Well, I think I have a better record than you in that one, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I'm just playing upset now. I'm just playing upset, man.
Yeah, exactly. I have the number 1 waiver in that one, I think, and so I'm gonna. All right, here we go. I'm getting Isaac Grindo.
So I got a question, right? I got a question. How do you guys feel about that? Because now that people are out of playoff contention, before it was like, hey, everybody still has a shot, go for it. At this point, do you feel like it's fucked up to take players and block other people that are still in contention? Okay. Or do you feel like, fuck it?
So that is a great question.
Dale,
as a commissioner in multiple leagues, I've actually asked myself this question leading up to it.
Oh, should we wait for Dale? Is he here? Dale.
He froze. Or he's in deep thought.
Right. Hey, well, we'll get his input when he gets back.
Yeah. So, like I said, I kind of need to know, all right, what's the best way to do it with being the commissioner in a few leagues, right? If you're playing for, honestly, if it just kind of depends on the league. If you have consolation spots, I mean, yeah, you go for it. I think like you should play through the year like you're to win every week. I think that's just good sportsmanship. Now, to do it with the intent to mess somebody else up, like, yeah, that's messed up your reasoning, but it's allowed. Now, if you start dumping players, that is straight up,
that. Yeah, that's
straight up
what.
no good, no go for anybody that's watching. Player dumping and just getting rid of players off your roster that are good, and the hopes that, hey, your buddy has like the number 1 or number 2 waiver wire pickup, they'll be able to get at least one of them. Or just you're on tilt and you're like, nah, done with the season. I don't need these players anymore. Whatever, fuck it, and you just start dumping. Nope, that's not allowed. It's not fair, and you will not be asked to come back to your league the next year for sure. So, welcome back, buddy.
Hey.
Yes, exactly what you said. I don't know.
Well, I was just asking John. Well, I was asking both of you guys, right, before you froze. How do you feel about like how, perfect example, right? Jesus is out of contention completely.
Yes.
Right. He said fuck it this week and did not start a running back. He damn near could have beat Carlos if he had started a running back because Njoku had such a good game, right? So he just said fuck it. So he's on the side of, hey, I'm not in playoff contention. I don't care anymore. But there's other people that are out of contention that are still playing, right? But how do you feel about essentially hitting the waiver wire and taking players to block the people that are actually in the playoffs from being able to get somebody?
I think there should be a way. I don't know if there is. There should be a way to block players from doing that.
Like non-contenders.
Yeah, like non-contenders, exactly. Like, I don't know how you do that, especially when it comes into playoff time.
Right. But essentially the playoffs should be for playoff contenders.
Exactly. And, it should be, no matter how your league is structured, if you only have 4 or you have 6, 8, however many teams you got, we have 6. So we're a 12 team, half the league gets in, half is out. The half that's out, you should be stuck with whatever players you have on your roster. And I don't think you should be able to make moves because you're not playing for anything at that point.
I get what you're saying. Essentially, the rest of the league, essentially for people that are in the playoff contention, everything works as normal. But once you're bounced out, essentially you're stuck with your team, and that's that.
Exactly, because what's the point of adding or dropping players if you're not in contention? You're really
just fucking over the other playoff people.
Yeah, and you're just playing for who's not in last place, really. Yeah. So
now
I think teams 6 and up should go on business as usual when it comes to waivers and picking up, players. 7 and below, after playoffs start that first week, they should not have access to those players. You should be stuck with your current team.
Which will prevent player dumping as well.
That too.
So the thing is, I was saying with Scott, you should play every week to win, period, through the season. But I see what you're saying with that. But yes, it would still need to happen all the way up until playoffs start. Play to win all the way up till playoffs start. I could see that, but just calling it when you're out of it, or it's no, that's not good sportsmanship, and it's not good in playing against other people. That okay, well you don't need to give the guy that's gonna potentially decimate you a gimme. Just like you said, Jesus was a few points away from winning. If you just put in a running back, he could have had to win and affected the playoffs. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then the other part is, if you are in a league where you have punishment for a loser, you're going to keep playing. I'm not going to give up. I'm still going to play throughout the end of the year. Now, am I going to, all right, let me waiver wire, let me do this. I'm not going to be as picky with that. I'm probably just going to roll with who I've got unless somebody gets hurt and I absolutely need to replace a spot. But other than that, I'm not going to like go ham on picking up a waiver, and I'm not going to player dump, and there's not going to be anything goofy. I think you should play honorably till the end.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Because I don't think that you should give anybody any gimmies, because that's like, hey, what are we doing? Like literally what I brought up with Jesus, right?
Right.
But what I'm wondering, what I'm asking you guys is, if you know you're out of playoff contention and you're essentially you're out of playoffs, hey, my season's essentially done, but I'm still going to pick up waiver picks to block other people. That's what I was asking.
I wouldn't do it to block other people. I would do it to make sure that I have an active roster and bench to play out the rest of the season in a way. I'm not going to be gung-ho like I would in the beginning of the year or even a couple weeks ago. But this week, like, I may use my waiver. I've got a number one waiver in 2 leagues. Like, I may pick up a Garindo in both of those, just like, all right, cool. I'm set for just whatever, and I'm good. But will I? Maybe not. Who knows? Because I'm pretty much out of contention in both. It could be close. Weird upsets could happen, so I'm not giving up. But until that playoff schedule is set, I'm going to keep playing, and that means I'm going to get the better. I'm going to get the players that I need. That could be a better play for me, because the person I'm playing against, I might be able to upset them, and it might be a chain reaction of other people where I do end up in it. So until week 15, yeah, I'm playing 100%.
I want to find out about that, though, if there is an option for once playoffs start, if you can.
You can.
You can?
Yep. I mean, you may, as a manager, you may have to go in there, or as a commissioner, you may have to go in there and lock everyone's teams.
But that is an option.
Teams, then you can. So
that might be something to look into.
Yeah, but also it's something you can't put into effect during the current season. It has to be announced prior to the start of the draft.
So regarding Jesus, so he picked up, you said, a running back, but he didn't play a running back?
No, he didn't play a running back, period.
Eckler got injured, so his RB2 went on IR.
Yes.
He never picked up another running back because he was probably just like, fuck it, right? I'm going to lose anyway. Lowe's had the type of week where it was like, hey, he's right there borderline. He was up 60 points, but Njoku gave him 30. Or Jesus had like 3 players playing, right? It was Will Lutz. Will Lutz had like 12 points. Njoku got about 30 points. And Cleveland defense didn't do too much, right? But if they had gotten their projections, all he would have needed was 5 or 6 points from a running back. He would have won, or could have been right there. But because he didn't pick up a second running back, it basically was a gimme to Lowe's. Like, that gave Lowe's that much extra. Pretty much it was a gimme. Like, hey, fuck it, I'm out. You can have this week.
Right. Yeah, I think it should definitely be a rule that you have to play a full roster. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You got to drop somebody on your bench because you don't have, in his case, another running back, or he, whatever, or he doesn't have.
Example, he could have put Eckler on the IR.
Yes.
And then pick up a running back.
It doesn't matter who that running back is. Could be somebody that's not going to see any snaps, but you have to put in an active player. I think that should be a clear and concise rule, that you play a full active roster. You don't leave any spots empty. It's just not. It's not fair to give an opposing team possibly a gimme, like you said.
Well, I know that instance happened earlier in the season in our family league, and that was more so a strategy of the fact that that team wasn't going to give up any of their players to accommodate a bye week for a kicker.
I do remember that.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and that's fine. That worked for them. I think that's fine. I don't think you should have to be forced to put a player in a spot. if you don't have a player for that spot, to make you drop a player that you're high on to fill that spot. If you think you can get it with what you got, go for it. You're the one making the chance or taking the chance at that time. But I don't think you should be required to fill that spot. I get it. I get it when you're getting closer and you're trying to do things, but I don't think the goal is to have everyone in your roster active and to use them. But if that's your goal, like I'm not going to drop. Say I'm stacked. Say I'm not going to drop Saquon Barkley. Not that I would to get a kicker because my kicker's on bye this week. I'm not doing that. And Dale's froze again, so he can't argue me.
It's tough, right? Because realistically, whose team would be so stacked to where you? Because essentially, if your team is stacked like that, you would have position to fill them, right?
It doesn't have to be that
unless you got like a Bye-Pocalypse.
Yeah, well, which we're about to hit Bye-Pocalypse Part 2.
Right. So in those cases, I can understand, right? I can understand that.
Yeah, but I mean,
but in the cases of, I guess I would say in the cases of, you're not suffering from bye weeks. You're just choosing not to start somebody because who the fuck knows why. I guess it could be like it'd be a case by case basis.
That would be if you had the player and you didn't put him in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because you didn't have a player, you just didn't do it. You're not being an active manager, is what that looks like, and then could be considered as collusion because you need to be an active manager for your team.
Which, but I guess in the same breath, right? Being an active manager is, hey, I have a player on IR. Let me replace that player, rather than being like, whatever. Hey, I'll just leave it alone.
Well, and that's why you need to be an active manager, because you will mess up things that way. But if you're actively choosing not to drop a player in a different position to gain another player to make room for said player, I don't think that's punishable. That's your preference. You want to hold on to the value in the player that you're high on, or you've got a feeling about, or anything like that. Yeah,
that's different. That's different. So I guess it'd be a case by case thing, right? Like
it always is.
Because perfect example, right? Let's say if I won this week and Lowe's had taken a loss, we would have flip flop spots. I would have went to first, right? I'm mathematically out of it. I'm locked in a second, whether I lose or win this week. I'm locked in a second, right? But if let's say I won and it was like, hey, if he had put in a running back, Carlos would have lost this week. I'd be pissed. It'd be like, yo, you basically just gave him a week because I don't know, because it could have been like, hey, you gave him the week to make sure I didn't get it, or you gave up the week because you wanted him to win, or because you weren't active. But it's kind of like, what are we doing?
So it falls into one of two categories: inactive manager, collusion.
Or collusion.
That's it.
One of the two.
Yep. So, and unfortunately, that's how that went, and that's when you stop inviting people back to the league, and that's just part of the game. But
there's a couple things we got to look at for now. I would definitely want to look into locking the playoffs, though. One for non-playoff contention, like, hey, if you're in the playoffs, like Dale said, business as usual. If you're not, your team is your team.
Yeah, after playoffs start, that's a different story, but also it's something that you doing
talk about first
without being, announced or said, or
you can't do that
prior to the draft of the season. Yeah. So
because even in our Superflex league, I've had people ask me about like the scoring and certain things, and it's like we've talked about it, but we can't make any changes till next season. So it's like a next season discussion.
Right, exactly.
So I would something for us to look into for next season.
All right. Okay, so we all agree that Dale was wrong. Oh, hey, buddy, welcome back. All right. Hey, thank you. So, honestly, to circle way back to where did the bad fantasy football hurt me this week? Just all of it. I'm dumb. It's what it is. So, moving on. Do you guys have? Well, first off, let me announce we are Bye-Pocalypse Part 2 this week. In week 14, The Ravens, the Broncos, the Texans, Colts, Patriots, and Commanders are all on bye.
The hitters.
This is the last bye week.
Mhm.
Speaking of bye weeks and week 14 specifically, I actually saw somebody in a chat talk about how their playoffs start week 14.
A lot of people, actually, I've seen that. A lot of people start week 14, and it
That
blows my fucking
is
mind.
crazy. Yeah. So a lot of people, I like reading the comments to see how people just react. Also, because being a commissioner, like, all right, I need to see how people would react to certain situations. I would never have a league where your playoffs start on a bye week.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
It's like actually fucking ridiculous.
you should have looked at that and known about it before your draft, so you could get the hell out of Dodge and not deal with that bullshit. So,
Yep.
but we got those 6 teams on bye.
Like,
So
imagine playing against Saquon Barkley and you have Nico Collins and Derrick Henry. Saquon plays Carolina this week. Like, or
Yeah.
they have an Eagles stack. Like, that is crazy.
well, yeah. That being said, I think some Saquon managers might be a little disappointed this week because they're not going to need to run the hell out of him. So they're probably going to bench him early. They're probably going to run the score up, get him a good little workout in, get ready for week 15, and just sit him. I would. Kenneth Gainwell. If you
Let
want
him
to
run
pick
in for 3
Gainwell,
TDs.
he's going to get some yards. That's a good waiver pickup. Kenneth Gainwell, good
I
streamer
can
for
see
this
that.
week. He's been getting some return work on special teams. He'll be playing second half of that game, guaranteed.
At least the fourth.
At
But
least.
granted, the way Carolina's been playing, they may
Man, don't
actually
say
be
that.
in the damn game. They may actually be in it the way they've been playing.
Yeah, true. Do you guys have any starter sits though for this week?
I actually have a really good one. Very interested to see what you guys think. Lad McConkey or Jerry Judy?
Well, depending on how serious McConkey's knee is.
Let's assume it's not, because the way people have been talking, it doesn't seem he did shit. He did a post game interview on the field afterwards.
Yeah, the whole thing was kind of weird because Harbaugh didn't even want to like say much about it. So, oh yeah, we're dealing with it. It's fine. Everything is going to be fine. Dealing with it.
I think he's good.
Yeah. So
But assuming that everything's A1, you're going Lad or newfound Jerry Judy.
I'm
Which you
probably
think?
going Lad, honestly. Judy looks nice, but he's going against the Steelers defense. I'd rather go against the Chiefs.
yeah, the Chiefs have a better run defense than they do a pass defense.
That's true.
So yeah, I think I'm with Dale on that one as well.
But wouldn't you say the same for the Steelers? Their run defense is better than the pass defense.
Yeah, but I think their pass defense is a little leveled out to match that run defense a little bit better. Plus, well, no, okay. I'm going to take that back.
Because think about the last game that just happened. Steelers Bengals. That was the highest scoring game of the season. Damn shootout.
Yeah, but hold on a second, because we're talking. This is a rematch from like 2 weeks ago for the Browns and the Steelers, where the Steelers got their asses handed to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that
And
defense is going to be nuts. No, I'm going McConkey. Yeah, Lad all the way. Yeah, that's even more of a push for Lad McConkey on that one. So good job, Jerry Judy. You killed it tonight, bro. But you're done next week.
Both divisional games as well.
Yeah. So nah, I'm gonna go Lad. You got one, Dale? It's okay
Yeah,
if you don't.
No, I do. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna go same game actually. Same division on top of that. Marvin Harrison or JSN?
I know my answer right away. I don't even have to look at the matchup.
Shoot.
I have been a JSN believer, and I think he's taken over that wide receiver one spot in Seattle. So
He has. It's the same game, right? The Cardinals are playing the Seahawks.
yeah, second time they've met up. They just played 2 weeks ago.
I'm gonna say Marvin Harrison just because of how the Cardinals been playing. Their defense is, for whatever fucking reason, it's a complete 180. Like their defense has been, I think their defense has been the best in the NFL the last three or 4 weeks.
Dang.
Yeah, so I would go with Marvin Harrison because of that, and because the coach Gannon came out last week and said that they were going to try to get Marvin Harrison more involved. They said they're going to get him more involved, and then he turned around and had 12 targets this week, right, with Trey McBride. So
yeah, no, I saw that too.
So I'm going Marvin.
It's no coincidence that Kyler's been targeting Marvin Harrison and getting him good games, and him having good games himself. Call of Duty 6 dropped. I thought it would be the opposite, but he's balling out and he's helping out Harrison. So good for him.
Nah, accuracy, precision.
So this is one of the few times the coach speak actually leads to results. So
Hey.
I'm going Marvin on that one.
Yep, JSN for me though. I'm gonna stick with it. Gina's gonna air that ball out, and it's gonna go JSN's way. He'll be the one to find the way. He is a very smart receiver. Even when he's not the one getting the ball, you will see plays where he'll psych out defenders like he's getting the ball. He's looking for the ball. He'll literally and then they'll chase him, and it clears up Metcalf for the catch. So it's just he's very smart, and I look forward to drafting him again next year. So hell of a player. But all right. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even have a starter set. I'm not even gonna try.
I just did mine on the fly without watching any football. I just looked at the schedule, saw two teams, and said, "This is it. Come on, John, you got this."
Oh man.
I got one more
on
real
the
quick.
spot.
Hold on, I got one more real quick. Give Johnny a chance.
There you go. Go ahead. Thanks, Scott.
Kyren or Kamara?
Kamara.
Based off matchups?
Based off that matchup. Kyren against the Bills. The Bills are playing good defense. And best defensive player you got on the Giants is Dexter Lawrence, who's help. No, he's out.
No, he's gone. He's out.
Oh yeah, definitely Kamara. See, that's what happens when you don't watch football for a weekend.
Forgot to mention Lawrence. Yeah, he's
out. And there you go. So, sorry, people. I am behind. Obviously, still catching up.
You're fine.
Yeah, then that's an easy Kamara start for me. I have him in I have him in 2 leagues. And hearing that news, why wouldn't you start him?
Let's start.
No, I agree. Kamara, 100%. Even if Lawrence was still there, I think that would be the matchup. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna throw my starter sit out there with this is stupid. I'm not doing this. It's so bad. Cool. Are you going to start Aaron Jones for the Vikings against the Falcons? Or are we going to go and trust Tony Pollard against the Jags?
I'm going to go Pollard just because Brian fucking with Aaron Jones, bro. He fumbled twice to start off the last game. Literally, both his first two touches were fumbles, bro. And then he fumbled the week before that, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, he did. It's weird. Like he just kind of fell off, and it's not the greatest, but it's also like the Vikings have been weird. Like aside from them coming back and like saving it last week, like
they've been pulling it out.
Yeah, but ew, gross.
the game scripts have been weird. Like shit, even Jones, his week was only saved because he caught that final touchdown, like to seal the game.
Yeah.
But it's been weird over there, bro. I'm not fucking with it. Pollard had one bad. He had like an off game last week. Wasn't really in his favor, but Pollard's still that guy. Tajay Spears, if he's not still injured, he's not getting that many reps. It's all Pollard. So I'm going off strictly volume and matchup. Give me Pollard.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one more starter sit, and y'all can call me crazy, but I'm just going to do it because it's fun. So
See, mine was so bad, Scott, that he didn't even want to answer it. Wow. Okay. Go ahead, Dale. With your unanswered self.
My bad. Let's go back to it. I'm going to go Pollard.
Cool. Cool. That's all you need to say. What do you got?
I'm sorry. I into mine and I just kind of threw it out there, but I'm going to go Pollard. Ball security for Jones is a big deal. So I can't. You fumbled that like that twice. No.
You're good. You answered. Go ahead with your thing. Whatever that was. Go ahead.
Shut up, John. I'm going to finish.
No.
I think Pollard's more trustworthy. Ball security is a big thing, and almost cost you points. So that's a no-go for me. Pollard all the way. So like I said, mine's a little, but Brock Bowers against the Buccaneers or Jamar Chase against the Cowboys.
Gotta be Jamar.
I'm also going to go Jamar.
Got to.
Bowers, they're not playing for anything. So they may pull him.
No chance.
They may.
No
chance they pull him. Bowers. That's the only thing putting people in the seats.
Yeah.
Bowers is number 3 in receiving yards.
Bro, he's number 1 in catches.
Behind Chase and behind Jefferson.
Yeah, but
that's the only reason I'm throwing this out there is because he's top 3 in catches and yards.
Bro,
with Jamar Chase and catches. Jefferson.
He leads the NFL in catches.
I understand.
And he's a rookie.
I get it.
Number 4 in targets.
I get what you guys are saying, but if I'm the Raiders, I'm not going to risk him getting hurt.
That's one of the Raiders' smarts.
I know. I get it. But I'm just saying.
Right, there's no chance.
Okay.
No chance at all that Bowers.
All right. I'm still picking Chase.
I got to pick Chase, though. Cowboys defense has been good in the front. Secondary is not really doing too much, right? It's going to be a shootout. Maybe. It's gonna be a passing game.
Dude, I'm looking at it the Bengals are 4-8. That is so sad. They shouldn't be.
Don't they have the same record as the Raiders?
The Cowboys have a better record. They're 5-7.
How did Chase do this last game? I didn't look at his stats or points.
It was not great. He had I want to say maybe 4 catches, but he had a receiving touchdown. And 60 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't see him on your roster, Dale. That was weird.
Check the family league.
Okay, let me check that one. Because the other one, if you had Chase, that would have been good.
Yeah, definitely would have helped.
I'm a dick. All right, 22.6.
How many did Bowers have?
Bowers had 30
something.
He's on my same team, so.
Bowers had a 30 piece.
Yeah, 36.2. Yeah.
Because he was tight end 1, and I want to say Njoku was either tight end 3 after tonight's game or tight end 2. And I know Trey McBride was same thing, 2 or 3.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Bowers because there's really nobody else. I mean, yeah, Jacoby Myers gets missed, but Brock Bowers is that offense. And Aiden O'Connell and Brock Bowers, they have a better connection than any other quarterback that they've put in there.
Yep.
So I'm going to ride that Bowers hype train until the end of the season because it's not hype. It's you see what he's able to do. Jamar Chase is great. He's the best wide receiver in the league, hands down. But there's other weapons
I'll damn agree with that.
to be, spread around. Joe Burrow can throw to T. Higgins. He can throw to Chase Brown, Gesicki. He's got other weapons. Bowers is really the only weapon.
No, I feel you 100%.
That's true. I think I actually will go with Bowers because of that. Because you got to think, right? T. Higgins is healthy right now. Like say Gesicki, Chase Brown. It could turn into a run game. Like they could run it down Dallas's throat, right? Raiders don't really have a run game like that. They got Bowers and they got Myers. So, and Bowers is obviously the safety net. He's the go-to. So, I actually will go with Bowers.
Okay, I'll stick to my guns. I'm a man to standards and values, and not changing my mind like coaches in the NFL, like you two. So, you guys go ahead. No, either or. If you got one on your team, play them. If you have them both, like Dale, play them. So, all right.
Yeah, I got a lot of Bowers. I was so mad I couldn't get them in the family or work league.
Yeah.
I have Bowers in almost every other league that I'm in.
Go Dogs. Sick 'em.
And
Former UGA player. Love it. All right, fellas, let's move it along. Last segment, game of the week. I already know all of our game of the week. And it's a Thursday night game.
well, actually, I was gonna let you guys have that one.
No, I think it's the only game worth having.
I think Chargers Chiefs are gonna be a good one too.
Okay, that's a second runner or
That's
first runner.
definitely second.
Yeah, but I think the Packers at the Lions on Thursday night. That's going to be the game of the week.
Shit. NFC showdown.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun one. And I get to watch it. I always like it when it's a good Thursday night. So, yeah, that's what I'm picking. I mean, like Chiefs or is it at Chiefs or is it? Yeah, it's in
At
Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
At
Jeez.
Chiefs.
Kansas City.
All right, so they don't have to fly their refs. Okay.
No,
All right.
they've already got them homegrown.
They keep them local.
Yeah. All right. Well, got that. Dale, you got anything else other than one of those two games? You want to stick with that Raiders Bucks game?
No, I don't think that's going to be an exciting, high scoring type game. I think Bowers is going to have a great game, but I don't think it's my game of the week. I think Bills Rams could be fun. I think that could be a good game. That could kind of be a sleeper type game. Same with the Cardinals Seahawks.
Divisional.
Yeah, exactly. That division games are always usually a little bit better. But I don't know. Obviously, the Thursday night game is everybody's top game of the week. But
there are plenty of matchups for sure.
Yeah. Bills, Rams, and Seahawks, Cardinals. I think could be two really good games. In real life purposes and fantasy. I think those will be two solid games for sure.
Another good one might be, and this would be a good bounce back game for Kirk Cousins, is a revenge game, Falcons and Vikings in Minnesota.
I did see that.
So that could be fun. It's slightly different records for sure, but wouldn't that be some shit for Cousins to go back there and upset the Vikings at home?
I didn't think about the revenge
chain afterwards with his shirt off.
If we go based off just how the Falcons have been playing, probably not going to be that exciting. But I didn't think about the Kirk Cousins revenge game aspect. So I think the team will be playing a little bit harder for Kirk.
Yep. So that's a Sunday morning game, early slate.
Good way to get the Sunday morning started.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Well, I mean, there are some good games. That Browns Steelers game, that'll be the Steelers. They have a chip on their shoulder, and that should be interesting to see how that goes down, especially after the game tonight. Yep. So them on a short week, we'll see how the Browns do against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So, All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. We ran a little long tonight, but got a lot out there. So, yeah, appreciate everybody. You got anything for us? Drop it in the comments below. Check out our social media. We currently have the Instagram page and Facebook page. That could probably get shared a little bit more, but the main one we share on is Instagram. Yeah, until we change that, that's YouTube and Instagram. Leave us some comments, likes, shares, follows, all the stuff, and just like, yeah, spread the word. Let's keep it going. Appreciate you guys so far. It's we've made it 13 weeks in. Like, I'm excited for things to come. We're gonna get it. So,
Yes, sir. We're 1 week away from playoffs, so this is when it really comes down to the wire. This is your last week to make that final waiver wire move to push your team over that spot to push you into the playoffs. So hopefully some of our insights here can help you with that and have helped you through the season. That's what we're here for. But like, comment, subscribe, share. We say it every week, and we can't do it without you guys. We want to keep the channel growing, and we need your support. So if you can like, comment, subscribe, share, we appreciate it. And I will not be on vacation this upcoming weekend, so I will be back on top of my game with my regular notes and input. So back to regularly scheduled programming this next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the viewers riding with us. We made it this far. Net up or shut up. Get it done this week. Get into the playoffs.
all right. Well, we wish you all good luck, and we will see you next week. Take care.
See ya.
Have a good one, guys.